Newbarrel is the seat of the Green Apple Fossoways. This branch of House Fossoway was officially founded in 209C, during or after the tourney of Ashford Meadows. Sir Raymond Fossoway sided with Sir Duncan the Tall during a trial of 7, painting his apple green to differentiate himself from his cousin Sir Stephen Fossoway, who sided with Prince Aerion Targaryen. In a clash of kings, the Green Apple Fossoways supported Renly and were present at Bitterbridge. However, after his death, both branches of the Fossoways joined Stannis and fought at the Battle of the Blackwater. During this battle, Lothar Brune captured Sir John of the Green Apple Fossoways while killing Sir Brian and Sir Edwid of the Red Apple Fossoways, earning the title of Apple Eater. Sir John would bend the knee to King Joffrey after the battle. In a feast for crows, Lady Janna Fossoway, wife of Sir John and the youngest sister of Mace Tyrell, is one of Queen Marjorie's companions at King's Landing. And at Duskendale, Brienne of Tarth notes their presence among the dead from the Northmen's attack on the town. And as of now, this is all we currently know about House Fossoway of Newbarrel. Hello everyone, and welcome back to WesterosCraft Walks. I'm your host, Chris the Gardener, and today we will be exploring the castle of Newbarrel, the seat of the Green Apple Fossoways. So right now I just need to apologize for my voice. I'm not feeling that great right now, so my voice sounds a little stuffy right now. But we'll just continue, and I'll try my best to talk as we go through Newbarrel. So, right now, we are on the road that goes from the western bank of Bitterbridge to Newbarrel, and we can't really enter Newbarrel through this gate over here because it is closed. As you can see, the portcullis is down, so we're going to have to go all the way around the castle to one of the open gates. So I would really like to use horses at some point, because walking these distances would be much easier when using a horse, but I mentioned in a past video that the horses are currently broken, and here is a picture of what they look like now with one of the builders, Schwappo, looking at the horse. I think his face explains it all. So here we are at the town that is next to Newbarrel. Right here we have a shrine to the Seven. And here is the town. As you can see, it is one of our older builds. We don't really use the bark or the wood like how we have it on the roof. And we have a pressure plate here for some reason. Over here, it looks like we have maybe a metal worker with the iron crate off to the side, and here's a nice balcony that overlooks the main road. And here we have beds split on either side of this loft here, and in the back we have a small garden and a table with a clothesline. I don't think there is a work area for... I don't know what the profession of this villager is. I just see iron, and I don't think it's a blacksmith, but maybe the iron might be something else. I don't know. So you can see the state of this build. The thatch is... Oh, this is the Sept. We'll take a look at the Sept in a bit, but like say for here, like it's made out of... You can see up on the roof, the rafters and the supports are made out of fences, and we don't really use fences for that we used them for supports for the roof. And this is the Sept that the Septon who lives here oversees. It's a small Sept. But yeah, like, you can see how old and dated this build is. I don't know if this is up for a redo or for an update. I think it should be up. It really needs to be updated. But you can see just like the mess that is the bark fences for the rafters. It doesn't look great compared to our building style now. Over the distance in the fields, you can see the border, and if you look past those windmills over there, you can see the border of, I believe it's Cider Hall, Dunstonbury. I just know that this is close. This is a little west of Long Table, so I don't know what house holds the lands directly south of Newbarrel. I'll have to check later. But let's make our way up to the castle. Let's just walk back up the main street and past all of these market stalls and go find an entrance into the castle of Newbarrel. So the Fossoways of Newbarrel, they are not lords, they are a knightly house that split from the main branch of the Fossoways. Hence the different sigils, but the same name. This gate is closed, it looks like, so we'll have to try the last gate over there. So, as I was saying, the Fossoways of Newbarrel are a knightly house, so the castle isn't that big compared to the castle at Cider Hall, although I believe somewhere here they do produce cider since there are a lot of rooms full of barrels. Here is an open doorway. We'll just go in through here. There you can see is the main keep. The Fossoways actually don't live in that keep. That keep is mostly for defensive purposes, and that's also where the maester's chambers and the rookery are located, but we'll go take a look at those later. Over here we have some chambers for some of the knights in service to this branch of House Fossoway. Here is some of the battlements for the castle. They have a giant window here, but they have arrow slits which overlook that drawbridge over there, which is pretty nice. And if we take a look inside some of these rooms, you can see these are their helmets and shields, mostly for knights. That room is probably for the squires for those knights. And if we go back down, we'll see more rooms for some of the knights with the helmets and shields. So over here, we have a water trough and an entrance which takes us into one of those storage areas where there are a lot of barrels for cider. Now let's keep going towards this gate over here. So most of the soldiers of this castle would be residing in this building here. Here's another barrel room full of more barrels full of cider. Let's take a look at the gatehouse over here. So you can see there are helmets and access to the battlements of Newbarrel. You can kind of see how dated these are. Here is a hall where the soldiers or the knights would eat. There's some bread on the table. And yeah, you can see that there's some log beams that are supporting the roof. That's an old technique. And oh, here's a staircase that goes directly there. So let's make our way up. Over here we have more bed chambers for knights. Or maybe this is for some of the servants attending to the knights, or maybe the commander of the garrison. We have a lot of beds here, and I don't think we can go up any further. That's just the closet over there. So I think we'll just make our way down, assuming there's no other way to get up the tower here, and I don't think we can because there is a roof on top, so we can't really access the topmost level. So let's continue with our tour. So here, this is mostly for the soldiers. This area here is the granary, which it's a really odd design because it's so short at the bottom. So how they fill up the grain from here, I don't know, or maybe this is not a granary. No, this is a granary. There's sand, which we use for grain. That's a really odd choice for a granary, to have it really short. And you can also see like some of the wood that lines the corners of these storehouses. These are, it just shows the age of this build. In this one we have cheese, sacks of flour, some bread that they would be storing in the storeroom for some reason. And here we have more garlic, herbs, and a ton of apples. Oh, here we have some apricots and some salt in the corner. And over there is just one of the many towers the soldiers can use to defend the castle. Well, let's move on. So over here is the main entrance to Newbarrel. Here we have stables, the forge, and the gate that we couldn't go through earlier. So over here is the forge. We have some metal on the anvil here, a lot of spikes, maybe for arrowheads or for spear tips. And up here is where the blacksmith would live, perhaps with an apprentice. Over here we have a training yard with targets for archery, and we also have some of the battlements over on this side. And if we go up here, that is a hazard. Like, anyone could just walk up and accidentally fall off the walls there, but I think a block used to be there, but it's obviously not there anymore. So this is the main gate. We have some defenses along the side of the walkway there. And we have an area that overlooks the main road. And over here we have firewood storage and the stables. And that tower over there is for more guards of House Fossoway, but at the base of this tower are the dungeons, which they would keep prisoners, which they would then take to Cider Hall, or whoever is their overlord, because knights cannot administer justice on their own lands. Like, they can round up prisoners, but they cannot dispense justice. For that, they need to take it to the lord who owns these lands. So before we explore the main keep over there, let's take a look at the main living area for House Fossoway. So this building here is the Great Hall. It's a very roomy Great Hall, especially for a knightly house. And we have a moose head over there that's just mounted on the wall. And if you look up there, we have a wheel, which is a really odd choice for decoration. But, I mean, hey, if they like it, they like it. Over here is where the Knight of House Fossoway would sit, maybe address the soldiers or something with, or writing something with the note. There is the Green Apple Fossoway banner. Through this door here, we run into a courtyard, which are lined with lots of roses. Yeah, this is a really old build. Like, I have not seen any of these building techniques used anywhere else. Over here, we have a smaller entrance hall with a staircase that goes up. And over here, we have a doorway that leads to the gardens of Newbarrel, which grow some of the food to feed the soldiers and the family of the castle. These are the main kitchens. We have some freshly baked bread on the table with some more apples and turnips in these crates over here. We have a roast fowl too. And here is a small pen for raising pigs. We have a lot of ladders to access the battlements on this side. So if we go into this door here, it takes us back to the Great Hall, which is where they would serve, or how they would bring the food from the kitchen to the Great Hall. So that's pretty much it for this side. Let's go take a look at the other side. Of course, I think that door is closed up ahead, so we'll go through the doors here. Here we have a sitting room with a tapestry. I think I've seen this before. I think it might have been the tapestry depicting the Battle of the Ruby Ford. I know it was a prop that recently went up for auction, and it really looked like that painting over there. Here we have a meeting room, and if we go over on this side, we have the stairs going up there. But first, let's take a look at this garden with the fountain over here. And it has a path that goes, it leads back to that meeting room, but it can also go out here and towards the Sept, which we'll take a look at right now. So here, it's one of the older Septs. We have statues of the 7 gods over here with the icons at the base, and we have the enchantment table with the open book for the Septon to use when preaching. That cord in that rope in the middle is used to ring the bell, and we have lots of crystals hanging around the Sept. So let's take a look upstairs. There are only 2 bed chambers that I know of in this castle, most likely for the Lord and the Knight of the House Fossoway of Newbarrel. So this is one of the beds. It's very similar to the bed designs of Casterly Rock. Here's a nice balcony which overlooks that garden and the fountain from earlier. And we have more battlements on the walls. So this is one of the 2 rooms, so that will take us upstairs, but if we go along this walkway here, we go to the other side where we find another bed chamber over here. It's pretty much the same. It has the same bed design. It's just configured in a different way. I don't think we can go down or go up. We can go down, obviously, but I don't think we can go up from here. But let's take a look at where the stairs take us over on this side. It takes us to a small covered tower, which I believe this is an area for servants who directly serve the Fossoways of this branch. Doesn't look like there's anything else up here, or this is just a storeroom. Actually, there's firewood and just crates, so no one lives up here. It's just for storage. So there really are only two. Oh, that's not. Sorry, my bad. That did not mean for that to happen. But it just looks like there aren't any other bedrooms in this area for the Fossoways. I'm not sure if there's a way to access like the roof or the area above, but maybe on the battlements, because I don't see any way of entry out here. So we'll just see if we can access the top part of this building once we explore the tower over there. So let's just go through the Great Hall again. There's the Sept from earlier, and the road here just goes around the keep, along the walls over there. So we'll get to the keep in a sec. We'll just take a look at the tower on our left that's right next to the kitchens. Let's go find a pathway. Or I guess we'll just use the stairs here. So here we just have more sleeping quarters for the guards and the soldiers of this branch of the Fossoways. We have some storage under the stairs, and we just have this hallway with a fireplace on the other side, which leads back to the entrance. Here we have more sleeping quarters. A lot of this tower is for the garrison of this castle, and it looks like we have a walkway that leads to that building. So let's take a look to see if there's anything on top of that building over there. And there is not a way to go up that building. So I think that is the topmost floor of that building over there, which is very odd because there's a window up there, so I thought there was a window at the top. Over here we have some private chambers, possibly for the more senior officers of the garrison of Newbarrel. And it doesn't look like we have anything else up here. Oh, here we have a fancy bed chamber with a furnace that's backwards for some reason. It might have been turned around when we updated to 1.18. And here we are at the top. We have a brazier in the middle, and this tower overlooks a lot of the surrounding buildings, but it's not as tall as the tower at the center of the keep. So let's make our way over there next. So I know I breezed over the history of House Fossoway, especially the tourney at Ashford Meadows, but since the next video in the series is Ashford, I thought it would be more appropriate to save the lore on the tourney of Ashford Meadows for Ashford. So right now we're walking up this pathway here that leads us to the main keep. So the main keep is purely for defense. Only soldiers and the maester live in this tower here. And it looks like the portcullis is down, so I'm going to use my special builder powers to get inside the keep. So we'll just give me a sec. And there we go. We are inside the keep. Over here we have some stables and a well. We also have storage for firewood over there, and here is a small sept. It's really small. It looks like we're missing 3 of the 7 gods. And this is just storage with banners. Let's take a look inside the keep here. So like I said, it's purely for defense, so there aren't a lot of sleeping areas here. The walls are like 5 thick. This portcullis doesn't even have a mechanism to raise or lower it. Interesting. And here we have murder holes and arrow slits for the soldiers to fire arrows at any attacker. Here we have an old table, and we have some bars over here which serve as a window. This cupboard looks like it's been abandoned. So I wonder if if we close that, I wonder if there's a way to go down from here, or at least access the I guess there isn't. So we'll have to backtrack and find another way to the keep. Over here we have, we can't really jump over this, so we'll have to go back down and explore that room over here. So here's some stairs right here, which is convenient. So this area over here is, it seems to be an old bunk room. We have some of those bunks for soldiers to sleep, and we have a small kitchen over here. And if we go in here, we have more barrels, more cider that the House Fossoway of New Barrel would produce. And here we are to the main keep. We have one of these old button doors here, and here is the entrance hall and the seat for the night. We have some these small apple trees in the back, which is fitting for House Fossoway. And we have a small staircase over here. So over here is where a majority of the garrison who defends this keep would reside. We have some beds over here. And we also have an arrow slit and another way into that chamber over there. If we go one more level up, here I believe this is the these are some of the battlements, but I believe somewhere here, no, it's just more bunks for soldiers. But I believe maybe the next level up is where the maester resides. Yes, here is the maester's chambers. We have some books over there, and if we go up here, we have the rookery. There's a raven cage over there, and this is where the maester would sleep. Here he would write notes, and then he would send the ravens to where they need to go from up here. So I think this is a good place to end the video. There really isn't much else to see of New Barrel, so thank you so much for watching. Join me next week as I explore the the castle of Ashford and the tourney grounds where the tourney of Ashford Meadows takes place, and I will talk more about the history of House Fossoway of New Barrel, as well as the events that unfold in the Hedge Knight in that episode. So I think that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. I am Chris the Gardener, and I will see you all in the next video.